Welcome to SNN.Network's summer virtual event. We are pleased to introduce the next presenter for today's event, Matt Bailey, CEO of GameOn Entertainment Technologies. Matt, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and excited to share a little bit about GameOn and share what we're up to and how we got to where we are and what's ahead. So thank you everyone for tuning in. If you do have any questions, please, pop them in, ask me anything, and I'll try and address them at some point towards the end of this presentation. So let's get started. As I mentioned, I'm Matt Bailey, CEO of GameOn. We're listed on the CSE under the ticker symbol GET, G-E-T. You can also find us on the Frankfurt Exchange or on the OTC. All of our ticker symbols in the bottom left-hand side of your screen right now. But let's get underway. So at GameOn, we power the most watched content in the world with the most innovative fan engagement technologies. We'll get into what exactly that means over the next few slides. But to start off with the problem, the problem that we saw in the market is that most fan-focused products are very standard, they're very linear, and they focus on one primary motivation. It's tuning in, it might be predicting some type of game and then winning a prize. So that winning prizes is always the primary motivation, which is a really poor motivation. When you do that, you're creating a less than exciting experience, and for content owners, it results in low engagement, low retention, and low viewership of their content. And what this has led to is, unfortunately, TV and live events are becoming the second screen. The fan these days are demanding more ways to engage with their content, be it sports or entertainment. They're demanding a multi-screen environment and engagement opportunities, and they're becoming second screen to the mobile experience. And in some instances, like with which is a really big problem for TV content, live events, and sports. And GameOn is helping solve that problem for content owners. GameOn helps the content owners deliver a way to tap into the true motivations that fuel fandom. So the motivations, other than just winning a prize, we're tapping into discovery, social engagement, achievement, recognition, and progression. This is what we call meta experience, or the metaverse. Ways for fans to feel like they're part of the experience, not just in a parallel world watching the content. We're helping fans do that. We're helping content owners do that across sports and entertainment. And how we're doing that is by empowering them with the most innovative fan engagement technology. So our technologies, like prediction games, make their content more engaging, social, and monetizable. Now, who do we work with? We work with teams, leagues, TV networks, and this is the future of engaging with superfans. We let our partners' fans connect, make predictions, track live scores, and be rewarded, not only during, but also before and after every moment of their favorite sports, TV shows, and live events. Our new tagline is, if it's on with GameOn, and that's across, again, sports, entertainment, reality TV, news, elections. We're not just focusing on sports, we're focusing on all other types of content. And again, who do we work with? We work with broadcasters, TV networks, leagues, OTT platforms, and even sportsbooks. We're always working with these folks in a white label capacity. We're a B2B partner that are really partnering with these content providers on product and technology. And let's move into some case studies now. So we work with NBCUniversal and Bravo on the official prediction game of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Again, this is a perfect example of how we're not only working with sports, but we're relevant across reality TV and others as well. And since introducing this game, new users grew as much as 281% week on week, while active users increased as much as 144% week on week. That's not month on month or quarter on quarter or year on year, it's week on week. Some really great numbers that we saw there from NBCUniversal and Bravo. And then another case study is here with MX Player and Times Internet. We recently announced this partnership. It's our biggest partnership to date. MX Player are India's most watched OTT platform with 280 million monthly active users. 280 million, it's an astonishing number for us here in North America. They have more people watching their platform than Netflix, and they're owned by Times Internet, who are a massive media conglomerate out there in India. So we're partnering with them to power all of their cricket prediction games. We have the massive World Cup happening later this year in the Indian Premier League. These products will be launching in October. And as you can see, again, we're a white-labeled partner here. We're just powering their technology and product. Cricket is actually the second most watched sport in the world behind soccer or football, which is an interesting stat right there. So, again, the B2B products for consumers, but our business model is B2B. We're making money from businesses. We're B2B focused, and we build white label products that empower the content owner in sports and entertainment markets, not only here in the US and North America, but globally. The India example is a great example of how our technology has no borders. In fact, only 40% of our partners are here in North America. The other 60% are in India, Europe, and Australia, and we'll continue focusing on big markets globally, not just focusing here in the US. And the other great thing about our B2B business model is that we're laser focused on 3 business units within our company that establish this process. One is product. Come up with incredible, value-adding, game-changing products for our partners. Second is sales. Sell those products to partners around the world, content owners around the world. And third is technology, executing those partnerships, which in turn leads to revenue. A really, really simple process for us, and we're really, really focused on building out these teams in this process and pouring fuel on this process and fire. And then finally, how do we make money? We make money from 2 significant revenue streams. One is upfront licensing. So just like a SaaS model, we are charging our partners a license to use our technology month to month, season to season, or year to year. And this is recurring and kind of the foundation of our technology and what we're charging. Then revenue share is the second. We're really bullish about this and really excited about the opportunity to share revenue that our partners are generating from our technology. This could be programmatic ads, brand partnerships. It could be selling collectibles and physical goods, tickets within the experience. If they are generating any revenue, we want to be part of that. And we're often sharing as much as 50% and generating as much as 7 figures just from this revenue stream alone. A good example of this is MX Player in India. 280 million monthly active users, so you wouldn't be surprised to know that their whole business model is programmatic advertising. So they're projecting, and they know, to start to give you context, they already know, have tried and tested programmatic ad units built into their system. It's a massive business for them already, and they know and are projecting that we're going to generate $3 million a year just from our technology within their platform. And we will be sharing 50% of that, so that's a projection of 7 figures just from this partnership and just from this revenue stream from MX Player in India. Moving on to the next slide and to the next section, first of all, why our partners love us is that we offer a solution that is 100% programmatic, and it requires no additional lift for their team. So what that means is that we're not going to them and saying, hey, here's a technology, go and use it, and they have to produce that internally. We're doing everything from end to end because our engine is totally programmatic. And even though it's programmatic and it's 0 lift for our partners, we're still driving all of the KPIs that they're looking for. Engagement, revenue, data collection. We're helping them do that, and then we're also participating in that monetization. Now into the next section, we talk about teams. Now, this is really the foundation, of what we do, and this is why we're going to win. This is why we're executing right now. And, when people ask what our unfair advantage is and how we're protecting our IP, I do speak to, the patent pendings and all of that fun stuff we have going on. We're doing everything right from a regulatory and legal standpoint, but this is our unfair advantage, our team. We come from a very, very experienced sports media and gaming background. We know the problem, we know the industry, and that is why we're executing. Here are some logos of some experiences from the team, but let's really dive deep and double click on this. So my background is heavy in sports business. I spent most of my time at the Brooklyn Nets and Barclays Center in New York, also at Cricket Australia and SNN.Network Australia, which is where I'm originally from. Our chairman, Jay Moses, greenlit the original Grand Theft Auto, and today he's a director on the board of Take-Two Interactive, and he's also GameOn's chairman. He's not your traditional chairman. He's in the business day-to-day, setting up meetings, strategizing, doing deals. He's an incredible chairman, not only for myself as a first-time public market CEO. He's done a lot for me personally, but then for the company, he's done so much as well and continues to do so. Our Chief Product Officer, Santiago Jaramillo, spent 10 years at FIFA building EA Sports, the game that we all grew up loving, and most recently was the head of sports at Dapper Labs, where he literally conceived and produced NBA Top Shot, which has gone on to do more than $1 billion of collectible sales. He's now quarterbacking our product. Ryan Nowak is our VP of Partnerships. He comes from Madison Square Garden, where he previously ran revenue for the New York Knicks, the arena itself, the New York Rangers, and the various other properties they had there, and now he's running revenue for GameOn. Now moving on into financials, we raised $5.8 million in March. That's Canadian. We still have $4 million in the bank. We're spending $250,000 a month, which gives us at least 16 months of runway, assuming no revenue, even though we are about to generate revenue. We're in a really strong cash position. We don't need to raise money right now. We could raise money if we wanted to, but we're evaluating options and may raise it around by the end of the year. But we're in a great cash position after raising that money, and are in the process of scaling our team, products, and technology. But we will start generating revenue. As I mentioned, the team are the building blocks and the foundation of what we do. We've gone from 3 of us to 17 of us in the last 6 months. And now that the fruits of that labor is showing. We have deals in place with MX Player and NBCUniversal, as I mentioned already. We'll have more announcements of partnerships in the coming weeks, and then that leads to revenue. Every partnership announcement that you see leads to revenue, and we'll start to see that revenue coming to life in Q4. We're expecting to generate a few $100,000 in Q4 and then into the mid-7 figures in 2022. Now on to capitalization. So as I mentioned, we recently went public in June. We have 62 million shares outstanding, and the best part of it is that it's a very tight structure. We have 70% insider ownership. We're all locked up and all fully vested in the future of the business. We're floating around 29, 30 cents at the moment with about an $18 to $20 million market cap. And then here are some comparables. We're very excited about what is going on in our space, the M&A activity that's happening in our space, and the overall gamification and sports betting landscape. Some of these guys above us are in very good company, and we're next. We're going to be this next $100, $200 million stock, and we're getting everything in place to make sure that we get there right now. To show you guys how we're executing and how we're going to get there, I thought it would be good to walk you through a recap of just the last 6 months. And I'm using some headlines and some press releases here to really give you some visualization. But in summary, what have we been up to? In March, we raised $5.8 million. We first set out to aim to raise $1.5 million. We upsized it, to $3 million, and then we oversubscribed at a final $5.8 in a matter of days. It was really, really great buzz and excitement around what we were doing. And what did we do next? Next slide. We went on to then list on the CSE in June. Ticker symbol GET. We listed in June. Then we became DCC eligible. Then we listed on the OTC just last week to give great access and drive liquidity in the US market. And we then went on to continue building the team and leadership, Ryan Nowak being one of them, who I already mentioned. And then, we're now being focused with industry leaders in events like this for Sports Pro, which was actually just yesterday, where look at that panel. It's absolutely stellar. The Score recently got acquired for $2 billion, a fellow Canadian company. So we're starting to be seen as thought leaders in the space as well. But in summary, just going through all of this, we're executing. And if you look at these headlines and you look at the last 6 months, we are very clearly and strategically executing and putting the right building blocks in place. Now's the time to get on board and kind of participate in the great upside that we're trying to drive for our shareholders. I encourage you all to sign up to our updates. Go to GameOn.app. You'll see a space there to sign up to our news and updates and continue watching us execute. I don't expect you to say today, I want to invest in GameOn. I do expect you to sign up to our updates, put us on your watch list, and watch us execute over the coming months. You're going to see more announcements. You're going to see more partnerships, and you're going to see revenue come to life. That's what's next. Announcements, partnerships, deals, and revenue. And at any time, reach out to invest@GameOn.app to learn more. You're more than welcome to chat to me, and my virtual door is always open. But then our leadership team, like our chairman and our chief product officer, are more than happy to chat to investors as well. So thank you. That's the end of my presentation. But I would love to go and check out some of the questions now and answer some of the questions that have come through. So I can see one here. So this one is what are some of the value catalysts for the company for the rest of 2021 and going into 2022? So this one's simple. Over the last 6 months, like I just said, we focused on the building blocks, getting listed, raising money, OTC, leadership, going from 3 to 17. Now you're going to see us execute. What you're going to see is partnerships. And what those partnerships mean are revenue. So that's what we're focused on. We're focused on landing more partnerships, executing those partnerships, and seeing revenue come to life. Those partnerships, again, they're all white label partnerships. We're working with the biggest teams, leagues, TV networks in the world. And with all of them, we're driving licensing revenue and revenue share opportunities. So that's what you expect. That's what you should expect to see. Again, sign up to our updates at GameOn.app. When you see those partnership announcements come through in news releases, GameOn partners with X, what that means is revenue's coming. And we're really excited with some of the partnership updates that are in our funnel. So again, sign up, GameOn.app, APP, and sign up to our news and updates. All right, any more questions? I think there's one more. What, if any, are our M&A plans? So yes, that's another thought of if we go ahead and raise another round, which we're considering by the end of the year, which we know is available to us if we want to. Yes, M&A is important and something we want to do. We've spoken to maybe 100 plus companies over the last 9 months or so, and met some really interesting ones. What we're looking at for M&A, again, goes back to that 3-step process, right? So we have our product, great products, innovative products, building those products. Then we have sales, the brands and partners we want to work with, and then executing with technology. If we can add fuel to that fire via M&A, that's either bringing complementary products on board, that's bringing complementary partners on board if someone already has great partners and revenue that we want to work with, or the technology to help them execute that, or team. We want to look at that, and we want to potentially execute that. That's what a following round, as well as using our stock as currency. That's what we'll be doing from an M&A standpoint. That's our plans. We're currently in, I would say, medium-term, mature conversations with various companies on potentially making a transaction in the next, I'd say 3 to 6 months. So there are no more questions here. So I will finish it up there then, and give everybody a few minutes to go and grab a coffee or a drink before their next call. But I appreciate everyone tuning in, listening to our story. We're a new kid on the block, so please watch us. Keep an eye out for our announcements over the coming weeks, months, and years. Reach out if you ever have any questions, and I look forward to hopefully keeping a relationship with you and seeing you part of our journey. Thank you, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude the SNN GameOn Entertainment Technologies presentation. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect.